Well, Hastings, how does your investigation go?
Oh, fine. No problems at all, old man.
I am glad to hear that, my friend.
Mind giving the finger of suspicion a spin?
It will be my pleasure. Place the card in it, please. All-knowing powers that seek the truth when others cannot, I call upon you. Reveal your power now. Fantastique! The finger, it may not be the objet d'art, but you must admit it is quite effective. All-knowing powers that seek the truth when others cannot, I call upon you. Reveal your power now. Fantastique! The finger, it may not be the objet d'art, but you must admit it is quite effective.
Oh, I didn't think you were here, sir. Your towels are fresh and your bed linen changed, so never you mind about that.
Good grief. That girl certainly got the wind up over something.
The boyfriend, Will Jenks, I suspect is the cause.
A Bible, Poirot.
Not so unlikely a thing to find in the room of a former clergyman?
Revelation 2:20. Thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication and to eat things sacrificed unto idols. Now, why would he have that particular passage open? If I remember correctly, this must be Stephen Lane's room. Mineral oil makes a spiffing laxative.
We will borrow the mineral oil, Hastings. But Poirot has no need of the laxative. No markings on the bottle at all. I will take only 2. Perhaps we can determine what they are. No. The door, it will not budge. Quite securely locked, I am afraid. Latched tight on the inside. From the looks of these betting receipts, the Major is his bookmaker's best and unluckiest customer.
I think this room belongs to Major Barry. One of those straps on the suitcase might come in handy.
Let us hope the Major is not as observant as Poirot. I believe we've damaged Major Barry's suitcase sufficiently, Hastings. It is quite a view, Hastings, but I fear my eyesight is not up to the task of making out any items of interest unaided. Do you observe anything unusual, Madame Castle?
Not yet, I'm thankful to say. Mr. Black's sailboat put into Leathercomb Bay a short while ago. I suspect he'll make for the Monkshood before heading back out.
What do you look for so intently, Madame Castle?
U-boats, Mr. Poirot. I have seen them, too.
So close to shore?
Oh, yes. I suspect there's one out there right now, watching.
Have you told this to Monsieur Blatt?
Yes, I did. He laughed at me and said they were not likely to waste a torpedo on his tiny sailboat.
He has their point there. What is the Monk's Hood?
The only pub still open between here and Kingsbridge. Albert Batley runs it.
Who has the key to the smuggler's end?
Colonel Weston took charge of it when they closed up.
Colonel Weston? But he is an old friend of mine.
He's set up shop in the police station.
But is he not the chief constable for the entire district?
Yes, but he runs the home guard for this area. He's overseeing the coastal evacuations. We used to have a local constable, but after evacuations got underway, he was transferred to Modbury.
May I borrow your binoculars?
I need them, Mr. Poirot. I promised Colonel Weston I'd keep watch.
Surely no attack will come during the afternoon?
Why do you want binoculars?
To help in the watch for U-boats.
Well, I do have other duties to attend to. I mark any sightings on the calendar in my office, if you would do the same. I then pass on the information to Colonel Weston.
But of course.
And if you wouldn't mind doing me one small personal favour.
I would be happy to assist you, madame.
If you would return this book to the lending library, I'd think that a very fair trade.
I shall do as you ask.
Here you are, then. I'll be off.
Well, that is not going to... These are the binoculars, most splendid. It is quite a view, Hastings, but I fear my eyesight is not up to the task of making out any items of interest unaided. No. The door... Quite securely locked, I am afraid. The door is locked, but I can hear the voices from within. Perhaps we should listen a bit closer, Hastings.
You had no right to tell that silly little man about the notes.
If you can't take them seriously, someone must.
I rather thought you might have written them.
Me? Why on earth?
If you thought I'd been misbehaving again.
Do you think I can't see why you dragged us down here for a holiday?
Somebody told me about this place. I think it was the Rylands.
Look here, Arlena. I know what you're like. That boy is fond of his wife, really. Must you upset the whole blinking show?
Kenneth, don't let Patrick upset you so. He's a puppy, nothing more.
So you admit that young Redfern is crazy about you?
It's really rather stupid of him. You know, don't you, Ken, that I don't really care for anyone but you.
I think I know you pretty well, Arlena.
The felt on the bottom appears to be loose. A bust of somebody named Tom Cutter. Never heard of him.
Quite interesting.
A plate with a keyhole in it.
The good detective.
Another key. One could hardly call this bust a bust at all. Wouldn't you say, Poirot?
A welcome appearance by the most elusive rarity, the wit of the British.
Right. No need for barbs, old man.
The safe, it opened effortlessly. It must see frequent use.
A common enough oil lantern used for signaling.
We will leave it for the present, Hastings.
These codes aren't standard Morse. I don't like the look of them at all. Good God, Poirot. That's a German two-way radio. I think we'd better have a talk with that castle woman.
No. Make a note of the codes. But we must not remove anything or mention our discovery, Hastings. I agree something is not right, but let us rest and see what occurs with her.
Kenneth, if I say something to you that is probably outrageously impertinent, will you never speak to me again?
I don't think I'd ever regard anything you say to me as impertinent.
Why don't you divorce Arlena? She's pretty notorious.
You don't understand, my dear girl.
Are you so frightfully fond of her?
It's not a question of that.
Arlena's not good for Linda, nor for you.
Perhaps. But you see, I gave my word. Marriage is a vow, Rosa. I'm sick of quick marriage and easy divorce. Arlena's my wife. That's all there is to it.
Till death do you part?
Yes. Till death do us part.
I see.
Now we have heard all we can here, Hastings. Bonjour, Monsieur Gardner. Have you lost something?
What? Oh, hello, Mr. Poirot. Lost something? No. Just looking at the grass.
You look at the grass with great intensity.
Nothing wrong in that, I hope. My hobby could be gardening, like my name.
It could be, that is true. But you have already told me your hobby is collecting rare coins.
I did I? Well, it's true.
A wonderful view from this spot.
Yes, I'm told Tom Cutter spent long hours up here, watching the sea for ships that might run aground.
What brings you and the charming Mrs. Gardner to Seadraft Island?
Whim, I think. I don't quite recollect. No, that's not it. Oh, my God.
What is it?
Why did we come here? We came here... Good God, man. Today is our anniversary. August 24th, 29th anniversary. Now you've completely forgotten. What am I going to do? I try to sneak into time. She'll know. She'll know I forgot.
Do not concern yourself, my friend. I, Hercule Poirot, will undertake this mission for you. And Mrs. Gardner will be none the wiser.
That's very decent of you, Mr. Poirot. What can I do in return? Just repaying you doesn't seem enough.
Huh? Possibly tell me the truth about why you came to Seadraft Island.
I expect you've already guessed, but if you can find Carrie a present, I'll be happy to share all I know.
Eh bien, no time must be lost. What shall I purchase for her?
Why, I don't know. Use your own discretion. No frilly undergarments, though. That wouldn't do. I need to alert the cook. We'll want a little cake and champagne. Please leave me alone for the moment.
Did you know that woman was going to be here?
Look, Christine, I don't know what's come over you.
Over me? Oh, Patrick, you insisted so on coming here. You knew Mrs. Marsh was going to be here. You're infatuated with her.
For God's sake, Christine, don't make a fool of yourself.
We've been so happy.
We are happy. But we shan't go on being happy if I can't even speak to another woman without you kicking up a row.
You're in love with her.
Don't be ridiculous. Come on, let's go back to the hotel.
I'm climbing down to Cutter's Cove. You can come if you like.
This isn't good.
No, my friend. Yet there is nothing we can do. Events will take their course.
What do you think you're playing at?
Poirot, he goes for the afternoon constitutional. Nothing more.
Poirot, you say? The detective?
The very same?
I'm Patrick Redfern. My wife, Christie, and I. You down here on a case?
No. Merely the holiday. Oh, you are on holiday as well?
That's right. I'm an estate agent. Always hard on the housing market. So we took a few days off.
War is hard on many things.
That's true enough.
How do you like Seadraft Island?
I think it's grand, actually. The weather has been cooperating and the swimming is first rate. I used to spend most of my time as a boy exploring this coast long before there was a hotel here.
I observed earlier you enjoy their friendship with Elena Marshall.
Oh, she's just an acquaintance Christine and I made up in London.
Quite the coincidence, all of you turning up here.
Yes, rather.
What was it like here when you were a boy?
Just the Smugglers' End pub, all shut up, here on the island, and Cutter's Cave, of course.
Cutter's Cave?
It's behind some rocks down in Cutter's Cove there. You haven't explored it?
No. The ladder? It is safe?
The metal one sounds enough. You can also row around from the bathing beach if you like.
And Mrs. Redfern, does she share your enthusiasm?
Yes, she's enjoying her sketching immensely. She's quite good at it too. If you'll excuse me, Mr. Poirot, I'm going to wait on the deck for my wife.
Good afternoon, Madame Gardner.
Hello, Mr. Poirot.
May I join you?
I should like the company. Thank you.
That is a very beautiful shawl.
Oh, thank you. It seems as I've been working on it for ages.
You enjoy the knitting?
Oh, yes. Oakley has his coins. I have this. There. Finished.
Oh, you are very skilled. Monsieur Gardner seems young to be already retired.
Oh, well, to tell you the truth, Mr. Poirot, retirement chose Oakley. He did not choose it.
A financial misfortune.
Yes. You recall his mentioning the theatre he used to manage?
Bien, sir.
He was the owner as well. The theatre had not been doing well. Oakley hit on the idea of paying a great deal of money, more than he could afford to lose, to attract a major star to perform there. She took the money and claimed illness. The show was cancelled. There was nothing for it but to close. We live off his army pension and a bit I've put away.
What brought you to Seadraft Island, Madame Gardner?
Oh, my goodness!
What is it?
Our anniversary is today. Our 29th anniversary, and I had forgotten it. Oh, I have nothing to give him.
Perhaps that shawl? I have often found them of great value, fending off the cold of a winter evening.
Orkley wouldn't be caught dead in a shawl. And I have no time to knitting anything else.
I see.
Oh, Mr. Poirot, I know he'd give me my present at dinner. What shall I do?
Allow Poirot to assist you. I will find a suitable gift.
If you could do that, this shawl is yours. I'd better get back to the hotel. I want to be ready for dinner.
Poirot, there is too much going on to bother ourselves with this.
Au contraire, my friend. It does not hurt to help others in need. And that is a shawl I would prize.
Oh, Mr. Poirot, this is a splendid blind. The birds practically walk right up to me.
I am pleased you find it adequate, Mademoiselle Marshall.
But there's something wrong. Look at that one on the rock nearest the shore. What is on it, Mr. Poirot?
It looks like oil, Poirot. Maybe from a leaky boat engine. It'll kill the bird, I'm afraid.
Mademoiselle, it is oil, I fear. Very bad for living things.
Oh, please, please, Mr. Poirot. We must try to save it.
Hastings? I am out of my depth here.
I'm afraid I am too, old man. Maybe there's someone in the village who could help us?
No more can be learned by disturbing her any further at the moment. I will take the float, Hastings, but do not expect Poirot to paddle around the sea on it.
Boat varnish. Poirot, open the lid.
If I get any of this boat varnish on my clothes, you will pay the cleaning bills. Alas, it is stuck fast. I cannot open it. There is something snagged by the swimming float. I wonder what it could be.
Life ring buoy by the look of it. I wonder if a ship has come to harm. I know there's no use asking if you have a quick swim out there.
I am happy you realize that, my friend. It is quite a view, Hastings. Monsieur Redfern, Poirot is not a swimmer like you. I noticed something caught on the swimming float. It may cause an injury to someone. Would you retrieve it?
I'd be happy to help you, but the strap on my swimming goggles is broken. As much as I like swimming, I can't go into the salt water without my goggles.
Perhaps I can repair them for you.
There you go. I'll be here most of the afternoon, I expect, if you manage to fix them.
Hastings, that attempt is not worthy of you. Ah, almost there. But yes, your ingenuity is remarkable.
Yes? Mr. Poirot, you fixed my goggles. That's part of the strap from a suitcase, isn't it? How clever. Let's see what has been snagged on the swimming float. beastly hot. I'll enjoy the day.
Redfern's fixed his goggles, has he?
Yes.
Here you are, Mr. Poirot. It's a life ring, boy. I can't see it getting torn about that way by simply catching on the swimming pool.
Torn? Rubbish. Poirot, those look like bullet holes.
So, you got your goggles repaired, Redfern?
Yes, Major. Mr. Poirot ingeniously cut up a luggage strap to replace the broken one.
Luggage strap? Why, so it is. In fact, if I didn't know better...
Thank you for the assistance, Monsieur Redfern. Good day, gentlemen. Now we have... I do not think that is appropriate. I will not do that. You continue to impress me, Hastings.
From the looks of this tunnel, no one's been down here in a long time. The dust on the floor is undisturbed.
Roman to be sure. Just think of the history these stones have seen, Hastings.
By Jove, a gold coin in top condition.
May know, my friend Hastings. I could blunder about in these tunnels for hours while who knows what crimes are committed in my absence. I need some means to ensure I am traveling in the proper direction.
Mr. Poirot, did you find something Oakley would like as an anniversary present?
I believe I have, madam. This gold coin should interest him, don't you think?
Oh, this is perfect. Wherever did you find it?
That must remain my secret for now.
Here is your shawl, Mr. Poirot, and thank you.
I did not mean to frighten you, Major Barry.
What? Frightened me? A man with 20 years of service to Her Majesty on the frontier? Rubbish!
That fellow is up to something, Poirot. Mark my words.
Something, or someone, had certainly captured his interest. Madame Marshall?
This island is too small. There is nowhere to hide.
If you wish it, I will withdraw.
No, never mind. The famous detective, I believe.
I am at your service, madame.
Are you indeed? That's uncommonly good of you. I understand Kenneth told you about the notes I've received.
I think you should take these notes seriously, madame.
You may be right.
You have had that change of heart, then?
You could say that.
In order to help, I must ask of you some questions.
Impertinent questions, I should think.
Necessary questions.
Very well, then.
Was it Mr. Marshall who made you decide to speak with me?
Kenneth? No, of course not.
What was it, then?
I've received another threat. Here it is. The day of your punishment is at hand. It sounds rather like things are coming to a head, doesn't it?
I would say so, yes. Do you know of anyone who might wish you harm?
I'm rich, beautiful, and famous. There's a certain delight in those who are not rich or beautiful or famous when someone like me makes a misstep or suffers some tragedy. The newspapers and film magazines thrive on stories of the high and mighty brought low.
All that you say may be true. Yet these notes do not sound as if they were written from jealousy. The underlying emotion feels to me different.
Hatred?
Exact.
It's no secret I get on with men, Monsieur Poirot. I like men. Men like me. Not so the women. If I were to suspect anyone, it would be a woman who believed I had wronged her in some way.
A name would be helpful.
Possibly. But that is all I'm going to say.
Has anyone here on the island aroused your suspicions?
No, not a soul.
This surprises me. I thought actors were keen observers of the human nature.
Do not confuse lack of observation with lack of interest, Monsieur Poirot.
Is there nothing you can tell me that would assist me in helping you?
Tell me this. Are you certain the notes mean my life is in danger?
No, madame, I am not.
Oh, come now, Poirot. Isn't it obvious?
No, Hastings. Nothing is obvious.
I agree with you. Good day.
That is not such a good idea.
Try again, Poirot. It's easy.
Do I look like the fisherman to you, Hastings? Only a first step, mademoiselle. Take the bird to my bath and wait for me there.
Come along, you poor little thing.
Need the sea tractor, do you?
Yes, please.
On me way.
I've been looking after the hotel garage and driving the sea tractor for almost 5 years now. Motor cars are my passion. I keep the guests' motors clean and full of petrol. I also tend to any repairs they might need as well. Just look at that Major Barry's motor now. A 1938 Triumph Dolomite. It's a beautiful piece of British style and manufacturing. I can't think but what the war effort will take all the great designers to work on tanks and whatnot. Ready to head back to the island, Mr. Poirot?
Not quite yet.
I know we haven't been properly introduced, but I'm Will Jenks, and I've heard you're a famous detective.
I am the detective, it is true. But famous? No. That is something of an exaggeration.
Steady on, old boy.
Bah! Hastings, you caution me against braggadocio, so I display modesty, and still you find fault.
It's my young lady, Gladys. Maybe you've seen her at the Smuggler's Rest?
Bien, you are a lucky young man.
I do know that, Mr. Poirot. Not many girls in these parts can hold a candle to my Gladys. But lately she's been very distant to me.
She is of the opinion that you are seeing someone else.
But that's nonsense.
Someone she called only the slip of a girl?
But who? She means that Marshall girl what arrived a few days ago. She's been following me about ever since I first took him across on the sea tractor.
Have you encouraged Madame Marshall?
I should hope not. Why, she's just a kid. She'd be in school if she wasn't tossed out of that posh girls' school of hers.
In some ways, yes. Perhaps she is, as you say, still the kid. In others, who can tell? Where has she followed you?
She'll call for the sea tractor. I'll bring her across. Then she'll want to go right back to the island again. Then she's always hanging about the garage here. I think she may be a thief too.
What makes you say that?
Well, my shovel's gone missing, hasn't it? And I first noticed it were gone right after one of her visits here. You believe me, don't you, Mr. Poirot?
Yes, but it is not important that I believe you. It is Gladys who must believe.
I'll wring that Linda Marshall's neck for her.
I will have the talk with Mademoiselle Marshall. In the meantime, there will be no wringing of the necks. Promise me.
I promise. Hands off me tools. Hands off me tools.
The cars, they do not belong to Poirot. Poirot will leave them be.
You can be quite frustrating at times, Poirot. The village is practically abandoned.
Yes? Did I keep you waiting? I'm afraid I'm not myself today. I'm ever so distracted trying to solve this mystery.
A mystery? Sounds promising.
What is the nature of your mystery, madame?
Several letters have gone missing over the past few days. I can't understand it. I'm terribly conscientious with the post, I promise you. Someone must be stealing them.
Were the letters valuable?
No. They were important to my customers who were expecting them, perhaps, but none contained money or anything like that. Still, my customers are complaining and I'm at a loss to explain it. May I help you, sir?
No, merci.
You can borrow that if you like. I'm sorry, sir. You mustn't touch that. I use the test tubes to test for chemicals and to make up the various solutions and powders I dispense by prescription, and the microscope to look for impurities.
It is a shame not to have access to the equipment, Hastings. It would be handy to be able to test various substances you come across in your investigation.
You can just take that. No charge. May I help you, sir?
I am returning a book for Mrs. Casser.
Oh, Love's Captive by Mrs. Arabella Richardson. I've read that one. It's a classic.
How anyone can call that rot a classic is beyond me.
I agree, Hastings, but we should not judge.
You're right, of course, old man. Not everyone can appreciate true classics like Rough Shooting or By Motor Across Asia.
Do you have any books on the caring for the wild birds?
I know we have a book on local birds somewhere. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Birding on Devon's Shores by Major Marcus Touchberry. And yes, here's a chapter describing some treatments for various afflictions. Oh dear.
What is it?
Most of the time the author says to just shoot them. There's another chapter of recipes.
How much is the book, please?
50 pence for the week. Thank you for your business, sir.
Do you have any books suitable as an anniversary present for a wife?
To purchase, you mean, sir? Not many. Let me see. Tell me about your wife, sir. Are you interested in spicing up your relationship a tittle?
No. No spice is needed.
Lady Chatterley's lover is right out, then. What else? Is she fond of murder, sir?
I should hope not.
Too bad. Murder's very popular.
Lucky for you, Poirot. Shouldn't like to see you out of a job.
Keep searching, if you please.
I don't suppose she knits.
But of course she knits. Very much she knits.
Here's a brand new book we just got in. Easy French Knitting Patterns by Eugenie Blottieri. 1 and 6, please.
Huh? £1 6 shillings?
Colour illustrations cost a bit more.
I need more money, Hastings.
Wire your bank.
Madame, I find myself short of the required funds. I need to wire my bank.
Of course, sir. Just step over to the post office, if you please. How may I be of service, sir?
I would like to send a telegram.
Of course, sir. Please just fill out one of those forms on the counter. Thank you, sir. I'll send it off directly.
Madame, what is the name of this creature?
That's my Chloe. Isn't she a cutiekins?
Delightful. We have already sent the telegram. We need not send another.
I say, there's an envelope stuck down there behind the cabinet.
I see it, Hastings. I also see the cat.
Look at the size of that brute.
Bonjour, Colonel Weston.
Poirot, my old friend. What brings you to Leathercomb Bay?
A short trip to the seaside to replenish their little grey cells.
You stopping at the Smuggler's Rest? Damn shame, old man. I expect to get orders to close up the hotel any day now. This is one of the last coastal areas to be evacuated.
You're in charge of the Home Guard?
Yes, I've set up camp in the Leathercomb Bay police station now that their constables left for Modbury to help there.
Dangerous times, Colonel.
Indeed. I have spotters up and down the stretch of coastline. We've had several sightings of U-boats quite close to shore this month alone.
Mon Dieu! When?
Let's see. August 5th, the 13th, the 16th, and again just last night, the 23rd.
Poirot, those dates don't match at all with Mrs. Castle's calendar.
It is true what you say, Hastings. Have you noticed any suspicious characters about?
Any stranger is suspicious these days. Did you have someone specifically in mind?
I came upon a man who called himself North. He seemed to be trying to gain entry to the Smuggler's End pub.
I have the only key. If he's that thirsty, he'll have to come over here to the mainland or break in. I'll keep a lookout for him. If you could get me a picture, I could send it off to Scotland Yard and see if they can come up with anything.
May I borrow the key to the Smuggler's End? I would like to see if I can discover what interests him.
Be my guest. Regular law enforcement stretched pretty thin these days.
Is that your stethoscope?
Belongs to Dr. Neasden, a local coroner. He left it here last night. I was going to return it to him.
Say, that would work a treat if we wanted to listen at doors.
May I borrow it?
Practicing medicine without a license, Poirot.
It may be useful. One never knows.
You're welcome to it. I'm sure Neasden has others.
Do you have the file of the Millie Parsons murder case?
Yes, at my office in Kingsbridge. A bad business. I'll have it sent over this afternoon.
Many thanks, Colonel.
All right, Poirot. We've known each other a good many years. You need a stethoscope and the key to the pub? You'll forgive my saying so, but this sounds like a busman's holiday to me. If you are onto something, don't you think you'd better share?
My friend, I have only the suspicions. But yes, I think there may be some cloud hanging over Seadraft Island. A number of items have gone missing. There is tension in the air. It was never my intention to take on a case here. But now, my visit may have become what you say, the busman's holiday.
Well, let me know if you uncover any serious evidence of a crime. I'll be here in Leathercomb Bay tomorrow if you need me.
Many thanks, my friend.
I'm off now, over to Kingsbridge for a district guard meeting.
Farewell. Bonjour, monsieur.
Hello, a new face. Join me, sir. Blatt's the name. Horace Blatt.
Hercule Poirot.
Hairdresser, are ya?
I beg your pardon?
Oh, I dunno. Something about your manner.
I am not a dresser of hairs. I am a detective.
A detective?
Oui, it is true. I arrived only last night. You are the avid sailor, Monsieur Blatt.
Used to sail quite a bit as a boy. Not this part of the world. Off the east coast. I could have a first-rate yacht if I liked, but somehow I don't really fancy it. Much rather muck about in that little yawl of mine.
You would rather do the sailing yourself, perhaps? Rather than a crew?
Got it in one, Monsieur Poirot. I like being in control, I suppose. Feeling the boat respond as I put her through her courses. Same with business too, come to think of it. Made me what I am today. You've heard of Blatt's Hardware, I'm sure.
I may have.
Biggest concern of its kind in London.
It is not often one sees the sailboat with a red sail.
Oh, I like a bit of change. No harm in it, I suppose.
None at all. What brings you to Seadraft Island?
Don't really know why I came here. I suppose it sounded romantic. Smuggler's Rest. Makes you think of when you were a boy. Pirates, smuggling, all that.
What do you think of our fellow guests?
Mostly a dried up lot of sticks if you ask me. That Mrs. Marshall, she's the only lively one in the place. I should think Marshall's got his hands full with her. Oh, Redfern's all right too, I guess. He's been out once or twice with me in my yawl. Can't get hold of him now, always hanging about Mrs. Marshall. Afraid I have to run over to Kingsbridge.
You will sail no more this afternoon?
I think not. Saw a bank of fog sitting off the coast when I was out before. Expect it'll roll in before evening. Wouldn't want to get caught in it along this coast. Good day to you, Monsieur Poirot.
Now, why should the fact that you're a detective get his wind up? Poirot!
Hairdresser?
Like to try your hand at a game of darts?
No merci.
Maybe later then.
Perhaps. Does that formidable dog belong to you?
Yes, that's Baskerville. I've had him since he was a small... well, he was never that small.
Not many customers today.
What could you expect? Most of the town has been evacuated. And very few tourists turn up these days.
You enjoy the playing of the darts?
Darts is my game, right enough. It's been a tradition in these parts for centuries. Did you know the famous smuggler Tom Cutter was an expert dartsman?
No, I did not.
Struth. He played at the Smuggler's End almost every night when he wasn't out at sea. A masterful player was old Tom. They say he scored more ton 80s than anyone before or since.
Ton 80s, Hastings?
The highest possible score in a single throw, Poirot. 3 darts, all inside the inner narrow ring of the 20 wedge.
I trust Baskerville is the excellent watchdog?
Oh, hey. We have never had any trouble in here since Baskerville's come of age. Can't train him to do anything, of course. But with Baskerville, growling works a treat.
Has Baskerville ever bitten anyone?
Well, doesn't need to, does he? All he has to do is growl.
Have you ever seen Tom Cutter's ghost?
No, but I've heard of them that has. If I was lucky enough to meet up with a ghost, I'd challenge him to a game of darts.
And how did he die?
He was hanged by the excise men from the Smuggler's End sign. It's said he walks again every year on the anniversary of his death.
And on what day did he die?
August 24th, that's right. Tonight is the anniversary of Tom Cutter's murder.
Monsieur Cutter lived at the Smuggler's End?
Hey, it was the only lodging on the island until the hotel was built a few years ago.
Do you know anything of Tom Cutter's treasure?
A lot of folk have looked high and low for the treasure, but no one's found so much as a farthing in all these years.
Thank you for the conversation, my friend.
Stop in any time. Maybe we can have a darts match. I'm afraid I need some time to myself.
A regulation dartboard.
Fancy a short game, sir? 3 throws each?
No, merci.
Oh, as you like. Maybe later. Fancy a short game, sir? 3 throws each?
I will try my luck.
Oh, I pegged you for a sporting gentleman the moment you first walked in here. We each start with 301 points. I don't have time for a complete game, I'm afraid. Whoever hits the highest score subtracts that from 301. We'll declare him the winner. Go on, you go first.
Not a very stellar performance, I'm afraid.
I'm sorry, sir. You mustn't touch that.
It is a shame not to have...
Hello?
Who is this, please?
Like a ride to the island?
Yes, please.
Let's be off then. If you're looking for entertainment during your stay, there's not much at Leathercomb Bay or at the hotel these days. My Gladys and I usually go into Kingsbridge to the moving pictures, and there's some dancing at the hotel there still. Although, when I asked Gladys for this weekend, she refused and gave no reason, no matter how much I asked. She just said I should know. I don't understand women. I truly don't.
Monsieur Poirot, we need to clean the Glolymoors quickly. I don't think it will last much longer.
I am sorry, mon ami, but I... Pardon, Hastings. I am sorry, mon ami, but I do not believe that course will help you. Précisément, we progress.
Now rub the mineral oil onto the bird with this brush. This will make the motor oil easier to remove.
I scrubbed the poor thing with mineral oil. I suppose we're fighting oil with oil.
Eh bien, now I must apply the detergent to the brush. Précisément, we progress.
Now rub the detergent onto the bird with this brush to remove the oils.
We progress. Now we must rinse the bird. I will turn on the taps. We are almost finished, mademoiselle. Dry the bird with these towels.
Splendid work, Mademoiselle Musher.
I confess I didn't think we could pull it off, Poirot. Well done all round.
Now, mademoiselle, all that remains is to return our feathered friend to Sanctuary Cove.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Poirot. You are such a dear.
You're blushing, old fellow.
Nonsense.
Gladys won't be happy when she sees this.
Without error, mon ami.
That dartboard looks centuries old. I say, Poirot, see the carved letters? 2 N's and an E.
What have we here, Hastings? What have we here, Hastings?
Hello? Need the sea tractor, do you?
Yes, please.
On me way.
There's lots of talk of Tom Cutter's treasure. It's said to still be buried on the island somewhere. Jewels and gold and all the usual in a chest. When I was younger, me mates and I would search for it. We were convinced it was up on that hill, the western side of the island. The way the story goes, Tom Cutter would spend hours up there just looking out over the sea. We never found so much as a singular coin, though.
Mr. Poirot!
She has enough candles in there to light up a church.
I beg your pardon, mademoiselle?
I'm so clumsy.
Mademoiselle, may I speak to you?
Of course.
Gladys is very upset with Will.
What has it got to do with me?
She believes that you are trying to come between them.
Oh, I didn't mean... I didn't know. I have no reason to hurt either one of them. I was just... Garage was a place to get away from the island.
Would you tell that to Gladys? I believe it would ease her mind.
Of course, of course. Thank you for telling me.
Are there any telegrams for me?
I'll just check. Of course, sir. May I help you, sir?
Do you have any books suitable as an anniversary present for a wife?
Here's a brand new book we just got in. Easy French Knitting Patterns by Eugenie Blossieri. 1 and 6, please.
That will do for now, madame.
Let's see. That will be 5 pence, if you please, sir. Thank you for your business, sir.
Like a ride to the island?
Yes, please.
Let's be off then. The Home Guard isn't all old gents doddering around in their great war kit. There's quite a few lads like me who are itching to get into it, but weren't allowed to enlist. We train. We know how to fight.
Monsieur Gardner, do you think your wife would like this book?
Easy French knitting patterns. Poirot, you're a genius.
And so, Hastings, we come to the third act of my story. You have spread your investigations beyond the island to the town of Leathercomb Bay. This is most excellent. You have met the rest of our cast and seen how a favor performed can earn a favor in return. Even now I suspect certain suggestions present themselves to you.
It's obvious there was more than one mystery on Seadraft Island. In fact, almost everyone seemed to have something to hide.
Précisément. Keep that in mind. Few cases are so neat and tidy as to have only one person up to no good. You must first dispose of the red herrings before the fox he can be treed.
What next, Poirot?
Night has fallen on Seadraft Island, and with it the fog has crept in from the sea. And this is the night the ghost of Tom Cutter is said to walk. Remember the other two vignettes I shared with you as well. A murder of a girl. A ritual. As before, if you find yourself unable to progress, I will assist with the magic of the finger of suspicion.
Ah, yes. Time now for a third clue to its secret.
The third clue? It is desk.
Power? Lamp? The lamp on the desk, of course. The finger of suspicion must be powered somehow by the desk lamp.
Well, Hastings, how does your investigation go?
Oh, fine. No problems at all, old man.
I am glad to hear that, my friend.